Hello everybody, and welcome to another Telequarium here from the Alaska Sea Life Center. My name is Haley, and today we are going to do a really cool experiment. We're going to talk about some science behind surface tension and water, and we're also going to end up making a really cool craft. We're going to make soap boats today, so stick around for the end of the video because we're going to get to that eventually. But first, we are going to talk about some science. So today, you're going to need a couple things. I'll go over what you need right now, and then hopefully you can gather those supplies while we talk about some of the physics going on here in these experiments, and then we'll go ahead and get started on those crafts. All right, so what are you going to need today? You're going to need a few things, so let me show you here. I have a bunch of stuff hanging out here. We're going to do a couple different experiments. So if you want to get all of these things now, it's probably easier, but if you don't want to do all of this and you just want to do the soap boat, I'll get to what you need for that a little bit later. But basically, we're going to need a tub of water for you to float your soap boat in. Can be any shape, can be like a baking pan, anything you have lying around the house. We're going to need some cardstock. You're not going to want just thin paper. That's going to actually be a little too flimsy for what we're trying to do here. So you want kind of a stiff cardstock, or even if you have like a styrofoam tray of any sort, that'll work really well too. So anything like that. You're also going to want some soap. So I have some little detergent in a bottle. If you have some toothpicks lying around, these make it really easy for you to go ahead and transfer some of that soap onto the back of your boat. So these are handy if you have them, but not entirely necessary. You're gonna need some scissors. If you also want to grab some markers to decorate your boat, highly recommend that as well. And then for the other little side experiments we're gonna be doing, you can use a eyedropper if you have one. If not, you can just use your finger. I'll show you how in a second. And then we're also going to need 2 cups of water. So I'll get to that in a little bit. All right, so hopefully you are gathering those things up around your house. But as we're getting those things, let's talk about the science behind these different projects. So we're going to be learning all about surface tension today. And surface tension is basically what happens on the surface of water or another liquid that makes it behave basically like an elastic surface. So you're probably wondering, that seems really weird, I've never seen this, but you probably have. So if you've seen leaves floating on the surface of a pond, they're using surface tension. If you've ever seen those little bugs, the water gliders, those use surface tension as well to get around. We actually have some sea slugs here at the aquarium that use surface tension to kind of float on the top of their tank. So a lot of different animals use this to kind of glide around on the water. So it's pretty common, but we're going to learn a little bit more about the physics behind it right now. So I've drawn up this drawing over here. There we go. So right here we have kind of a little diagram of what is going to be going on in our water while we do this experiment. So I kind of drew like a tub of water, and if we imagine that we can get down to the individual molecules in that water, basically if you are a molecule of water that's hanging out in the middle of your surface, you are attracted to all of the other molecules in that surface. So the water molecule that is on the left-hand side of my drawing, that little water molecule, again, we know it's water because it has 1 oxygen and 2 hydrogen molecules, so H2O. And basically, they're kind of arranged where they almost look like Mickey Mouse. So those 2 little hydrogens and then that much larger oxygen molecule. But that water molecule is going to be attracted to all of the other water molecules in that liquid. And if you're in the middle of the liquid, basically that molecule is attracted evenly to things on all sides of it. So in total, it has a net 0 force. So because the attraction is equal on all sides of the molecule, it's not going to go in any direction because it's being pulled equally in all directions around it. However, the molecule that's on the surface of the water, so the one I drew on the right-hand side of my diagram, that one is going to have a net inward force. And that is because it is being attracted to all of the water molecules around it, but there are no water molecules at the surface that are above it. So its force is going to be a net inward or towards the most amount of that liquid. So in this case, that is down to the bottom of the tank. So that is what's going to create that surface tension and allow us to do things like float stuff on water. All right. So now that we kind of understand a little bit more behind the physics of that, we are going to get to do a really simple experiment. You might have done this before. All you're going to need is a penny and an eyedropper, or you can use your finger too, works great. And we're going to try to see how many droplets of water we can balance on the surface of a penny. So go ahead and grab your pennies. I'm going to get us zoomed in on my penny really good here, so hopefully you can see it. So here's my penny right here, and I'm just gonna fill my dropper up with water, and we're gonna count together and see how many droplets of water we can get on this. If you have any questions during this video, you can go ahead and throw those into the comment section, and just for fun, go ahead and guess how many droplets of water you think I can get on this penny. It's kind of different every time, so I don't even know. All right, so let's see. So we're just gonna start slowly dropping them onto the penny and see what happens. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, oh, it's getting close, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right, I'm gonna stop right there for just a second because I don't wanna go any further because I don't wanna ruin this just yet. But if you can look at this penny, do you see how it's almost like a dome shape on top of it? That's really cool, and it seems to be defying the laws of gravity here, but all of the surface tension in those molecules of water is pulling inward. So even though it looks like it should be collapsing right now, all of the molecules on the surface are creating that dome because they're all pulling inward really tightly to try to keep that shape and not expand. So eventually we'll be able to overcome it, but for now, pretty cool physics at work here. All right, where was I? 21? Let's see. All right, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, oh, 29. All right, well, we did really good. Maybe you were able to get more droplets of water or less droplets of water than me on that penny, but go ahead and comment down below and tell me how many droplets of water you got on your penny. So we got 29 droplets of water on that penny. Pretty impressive. Probably not what you would have guessed. But all of those droplets of water, again, the molecules are attracting in towards the center of that penny. They're gonna defy gravity and make like a little dome. We can also see this in another experiment that we're gonna get to do right now. And this one uses surface tension to kind of perform almost like a magic trick. And I just learned about this one, and it's pretty cool. So for this one, what you're gonna need is you're gonna need a cup full of water. Now I'm just gonna put mine right here. And then I just have this cup of water right here just so I can pour into this full cup. So basically what you're gonna do, you wanna pour water onto that cup until it's really, really full. So like basically overfilling. We want that little dome to be happening. Mine overfilled a little bit, but that's okay. So there's like that dome happening right here. And then what we're gonna do, and I really hope this works and doesn't mess up on camera because it worked for me earlier, is you're going to put a piece of paper over that cup, and then you're gonna hold it down, and you're going to flip it. Look, it stays. My hand isn't there. It's magic, people. Or is it science? Or is it both? So yes, this piece of paper is staying in place because I squished all those molecules with the paper, but there's still that surface tension and that inward force, so the paper is gonna stay right there. Pretty cool. So you can do this and don't explain it to people, and then they'll think you're magic, and then you can explain the science to them afterwards. Pretty nifty. All right, so we're gonna set that one aside for now. Okay, so let's get back to those soap boats. So we're gonna get to the part that you've probably been waiting for if you clicked on this video. We are gonna make some soap boats. So what you're gonna need a piece of cardstock again, or a foam tray. You could even use a thin piece of cardboard as long as it's not too heavy. And you're gonna need those scissors. And we're just gonna cut a little square out of this paper. Doesn't need to be too big. Okay, so I have my little square out of my paper. And then if you wanna draw like racing stripes on it, if you wanna draw flowers on it, if you wanna color any color of the rainbow, you can go ahead and do that. But I'm just gonna leave mine plain for now. But what you wanna do is you wanna cut like a triangle at the front of your boat. And you wanna try to make it as even as possible, because if it's lopsided, your boat will just go in one way in circles, which is kind of funky. So go ahead and just cut like this. There we go. Then we're gonna cut the other side. Okay, so now it looks like a little house, right? And I'm gonna trim this side of mine a little bit because it wasn't quite even. There we go. All right, so now that we have that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut a little notch at the very back of your boat right here. And that is going to be so the boat has one little place in the back. It's gonna be kind of like our motor, and that is where the soap is gonna sit. We need it to be a little notch because otherwise the soap won't stay there and it'll just spread out everywhere, and then it won't control the direction your boat is moving in. So we gotta get this little part in a notch right here, so I'm just gonna cut this like this. And do be really careful with your scissors. All right, I'm gonna take a little notch out of the bottom here. And you can cut that away. There we go. So here is my boat now. You can kind of see it has that little notch in it right here. All right? Cool. Okay, so once you have that, I'm gonna move back down to the tub and I'm gonna show you how we are going to make that soap boat run. All right, so here is our tub of water. You got a good view of it there. And we are gonna take those toothpicks I was talking about earlier, and we're gonna take one little toothpick right here. And then if you have some soap, some detergent lying around, anything like that will work great. What you wanna do is you wanna put a little bit of that soap on the tip of your toothpick. Just a little bit, doesn't have to be too much. Yeah, okay. So I got a nice soap droplet right here, and I did wipe, there was a little bit of soap on the edge of my, my container. You do wanna make sure that the water in here does not have any soap in it to begin with. So if you do this multiple times, you might have to change out the water because once the water gets too concentrated with soap, it's not gonna work anymore. So make sure your water has no soap. If it's in a container you just washed, make sure you rinse it out really well because that's the only way this is gonna work. So right now, I'm going to take my boat and I'm gonna just float it in the water. I'll float it maybe over in this corner, so hopefully it will move. So we're gonna take our soap and I'm gonna put some in the motor and we're gonna see what happens here. Whoa! Did you guys see that? It's pretty cool. So every time I touch the soap to it, it's gonna shoot off by itself. Here, let me move it back over here so you can see really well. Yeah, so it's just kind of going around. You can make your boat go in whatever direction you want. It's pretty neat. I'm gonna have mine move over here once more. There we go. Yeah, so while we're playing around with this boat, you might be thinking, whoa, this is crazy cool, but why does it work? So basically what's happening is you are breaking the surface tension of the water. So that net inward force that's keeping your boat floating, you're basically breaking that force and you're making the molecules expand or go away from each other. So they're not being attracted towards each other anymore. And what this means is that you're only doing it behind your boat. So as those molecules are breaking apart, it's creating a force behind your boat that then is pushing your boat forward. So detergent is a really interesting molecule. It's designed to be attracted to both water and oil. So part of that molecule, one end of it, really, really likes water. So this one we call hydrophilic, and that means that it loves water. And the other side of that molecule is hydrophobic. So if you think of having a phobia, that is a fear, so that side of the molecule hates water. So that is the side that's going to attach to oil, and then the other side is going to be attached to water. And this is what makes detergent so good at cleaning things. So by taking soap and putting it on the back of your boat, you are breaking apart those molecules in the water, and it's going to push your boat forward. So the part that doesn't like water is breaking apart all those molecules, and then it's going to make your boat go. All right, everybody. So hopefully you followed along with me. You made a toy boat. Maybe you tried some of the other cool tricks with the penny or that magic trick with the cup. If you tried any of these or if you built a soap boat, we would love to see them, so you can share them on social media with the hashtag Telequarium, and we'd be really happy to see those. If you have any questions about this video, you can go ahead and comment down below, and we'll try to answer those questions as soon as we can. But yeah, that's all for me today. Thank you for tuning in for another Telequarium. We do these every day at 2 p.m., so make sure to tune in for another one, and we hope to see you again soon. All right, bye everybody.